먼저 서양악기의 종류와 특징을 소개합니다. 서양악기 중에서 현악기는 크게 두 가지로 구분하는데, 줄을 문질러 소리내는 차련악기와 줄을 퉁겨 소리내는 발현악기로 구분합니다. 그럼 차련악기는 어떤 악기가 있는지 알아봅니다. 줄을 문질러 소리내는 차련악기는 모양이 같은 악기로 줄은 전부 네 줄입니다. 악기의 크기만 다르며 악기가 클수록 저음악기입니다. 다음 발현악기는 어떤 악기가 있는지 알아봅니다. 말 그대로 발현악기는 줄을 퉁겨내는 악기로 기타, 류체, 만돌린, 하프 등이 있습니다. 이제 현악기 하나하나를 세부적으로 살펴봅니다. 먼저 현악기 중 가장 고음악기인 바이올린입니다. 바이올린은 현대 오케스트라에서 주도적인 역할을 담당하며 가장 많은 수를 차지하는 화려한 음색을 가지고 있는 악기입니다. 그럼 바이올린 악기 소개를 합니다.
Hi, my name is Amy. I'm a violinist in the Cleveland Orchestra. I started playing the piano when I was in first grade and switched over to the violin when I was in fourth grade. I'm really glad I decided to play the violin because I just love the sound of the stringed instruments. I love how I can pull the bow and vibrate with my left hand to create a beautiful tone that resembles human voice. Anyone can play the violin. You hold the violin with your left hand, resting on your left shoulder, and you hold your bow with your right hand. It doesn't matter if you're left-handed or right-handed, you hold them the same way. And look at this violin case. It's pretty small and light, which makes it easy to carry around with you. It goes easily with you on the bus, on the subway or train, in a car, or even on an airplane, and it fits right on top in the overhead compartment. To master these techniques, you need some patience and discipline to practice a little bit every day. Consistency is very important, and soon you'll be rewarded with the ability to express all your musical ideas freely on your violin. Violin is a very virtuosic instrument. So many composers wrote a lot of great music featuring the violin as a soloist because it has a capacity to show a wide range of expression. There are many brilliant techniques you can use on the violin to create sounds that are not only singing and beautiful, but also exciting and fun. The violin's lowest note is this G, and it can go up pretty high. Listen to this scale. If you look at my left hand, it's moving back and forth very quickly, and that's called vibrato. It helps me to make a beautiful singing tone. The violin has 4 strings, and sometimes I can play them all together, and that's called chords. With my bow, I can make it bounce lightly, and that's called spiccato. I can also throw the bow on the string so that it'll rebound multiple times. That's called ricochet. Now I'm going to play for you a concerto written by Mozart. You're going to hear all the elements that I just demonstrated, and what's really exciting is that you too can play this piece pretty soon.
지금까지 가장 표현이 풍부하고 섬세한 악기인 바이올린 악기였습니다. 이제 바이올린보다 조금 더 큰 비올라를 소개합니다. 비올라는 바이올린족에 속하는 악기들 중에서 가운데 음역을 담당합니다.
Hello, my name is Alicia, and I play the viola in the Cleveland Orchestra. My first instrument was the violin, which I started when I was 5 years old in the interior of Alaska, where I was born and raised. It was a tradition in my family that everyone learned to play an instrument. So my sister and I both played the violin and piano when we were kids. I was 22 years old when I first started playing the viola. The viola is my favorite instrument, and if you're thinking of playing it, there are a few things to keep in mind. First of all, you don't have to be right or left-handed to play the viola. Each hand does something unique and equally important. The left hand handles the fingering and changes the pitch or the sound of the notes. The right hand holds the bow and draws the sound out of the instrument. Violists read two clefs, the alto clef, which is our primary clef, and the treble clef. A clef is a musical symbol which tells us which notes to play. Violists use the treble clef only when we play very high pitches, similar to a violinist. The sound of the viola is in the middle range, like the alto and tenor voices in a choir. We don't always have the melody, but we have the important role of shaping the character of the music.
이제 비올라보다 훨씬 큰 첼로를 소개합니다. 바이올린족의 저음역 악기로 비올라보다 한 옥타브 아래 음을 연주하는데 악기가 크기 때문에 세워서 연주합니다.
One of the nice things about the cello is that absolutely anybody can play it. It doesn't matter if you're tall or short or how big your hands are or if you're left-handed or right-handed. They make cellos in all different sizes, from really, really small all the way up to this size, which is the biggest size. Speaking of size, one other thing to keep in mind. If you are going to be bringing your cello back and forth to school, you can see it is quite large, so it can be a bit big to carry and bring on the school bus. One of the many things I love about the sound of the cello is the way you can connect from one note to the next using something called a shift. When I shift, it's just when I slide my hand up or down the cello, and it sounds like this. And depending on how I shift, I can express all kinds of different emotions with my cello. Now, the piece I'm going to play for you starts with a shift. Hopefully you'll recognize it.
이제 바이올린족 중 가장 큰 더블베이스를 소개합니다. 콘트라베이스라고도 하는 이 악기는 서양 음악에 쓰이는 활을 사용하는 악기 중에서 가장 크기가 크고 가장 낮은 음역을 가진 현악기입니다.
Hello, my name is Charles, and I play the double bass in the Cleveland Orchestra. I chose the double bass because of its awesome size and low tones. Mrs. Dobbs, my elementary school music teacher, came into our homeroom class and demonstrated all 4 string instruments. As she progressed from the violin to the larger instruments, I could barely contain myself as she pulled out the double bass and played those first few notes. I could tell you it was love at first sight. If you're thinking of playing the double bass, there are a few things you want to keep in mind. First off, the double bass is big, and you want to take that into consideration with transportation. Some school buses don't allow the bass on board, so you want to have a parent or somebody with a large car, SUV, or station wagon to transport this instrument to and from school. The double bass is accessible to all those who wish to play it, and they come in different shapes and sizes, from 1/8 size all the way up to full size. I can tell you for certain that you won't be playing an instrument of this size when you start out, but it is very important to get set up with the right fit from the beginning. Lastly, I want to talk about the stool that I'm sitting on right now. No, I'm not feeling tired and I'm not feeling lazy. I'm actually using this for a very good reason. As you start playing the bass, you might be standing or you might be sitting on a stool. I choose to sit on a stool because it provides stability and a better foundation for me to play. Don't forget, stools do come in all shapes and sizes as well. One of my first memories of playing the bass in an orchestra was in middle school when I got to play the Russian Sailor's Dance by Glier. It's a piece that starts off with this very stormy beginning, and then everyone stops and the double basses are left alone to play this really awesome melody.
지금까지 현악기 중 사련악기에 대한 설명이었고요. 다음 시간에는 발현악기와 목관악기를 알아봅니다.